So,
There's just a small bit of red tape.
Yeah.
let's get started.
Mm,
We can get out of here. It's sunny and nice out.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Oh,
Hey, Mark, hang on, I don't have a pen.
okay. And a piece of paper.
Unprepared. This black pen. Yeah, I got it. You need some? Yeah, you take mine. There's also a pen right here. You're live.
Would we like to do public comment? Is anyone in the public got anything to introduce to us this month?
So I will, music in the park, so Gail and I have everything pretty much ready to go. We're waiting on one half sponsor for the fall series. So we should be able to clean that up here. We're gonna hope within a week or two. So we are starting on the marketing and everything for the music in the park. And Summerfest, that should be going forward. We just got the poster and I have that almost ready to go. So as soon as we get that, it'll be off to press and we'll be seeing stuff out, so. We're gonna hope to have everything, we'd like to have it wrapped up and done this week so we can move forward, because we're exactly a month today to the first one.
So just a reminder, music in the park starting 3 weeks earlier.
Yeah.
Than it has been, always been after the 4th of July. It's the 3rd week of June.
And then we have open mic the open mic series too, so that'll be the first one, so we're trying to get that all lined up and get that going as well, so. We'll have everything marketing out. It's starting soon.
Do they have trucks or food trucks coming?
Yes, we do. We have a rotation, so it'll be a different one each time. We might have to lap, one or two might have to lap. Like back-to-back Thursdays, but we're trying to make it so that we have a rotation.
Are you gonna put them up here?
Yeah, they'll be,
Here?
yeah,
Okay. Like the photo.
they're not gonna be in the parking lot, but they'll be across.
Across the street.
Yeah, I think that's where we have them.
Okay.
That way they can easily pull out. We don't have anybody crossing the street.
Do you have a comment or something that you would like to? You know, yeah, you you want to introduce yourself?
Oh. Hi, everyone. My name is Tyler Horton.
Okay,
I live in the Ovid side, but my kid goes to Laingsburg here. I do property management. So just kind of working my way into the community, getting to know everybody. My girlfriend's the one that's the Farm Bureau agent that did the Fuel for Thought program with the school.
okay,
And so we both been kind of running that up, and we both like to take turns coming to these meetings and getting to know everybody in the community and seeing what they have planned.
perfect, and welcome.
Thank you.
Olivia, you want to wait, don't you?
Yep.
Okay, good. Minutes? Did you say there was a correction needs to be done?
Yeah, just on the other on the concrete poles. I don't know if we can correct or not. We were proving the 2 locations we had for work. We were getting quote for the post office. We're gonna do all 3. Just not to exceed 40. This is reasonable.
What's the dollar amount that we approved? 14?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're all 3. So go ahead and do them.
so you're just saying that it,
They're approved to do the work, just not just the 2 for sure. And then that one.
did you get that, Dave, or not?
No, I already told Richard, I haven't, I left him a message, then I went on vacation.
Oh, okay.
Went in town.
So he hasn't looked at or measured it yet any, all right, okay.
We had a little bit of buffer there. Should all fall.
I guess as long as you think it needs to be amended, any? I mean, we have the amount.
No, I was just making, I wasn't here
Yep.
last month, so I just wanted to note it so I can correct.
Or maybe just amend it to say proceed.
I was gonna say to proceed with it if it's under that amount. Is
Yeah.
all we need,
Yeah. I think so.
okay?
Motion to approve as printed.
I'll second.
All in favor?
I,
Anyone opposed? Ms. Treasurer,
so our last deposit of interest was $142.97, brings us to a total of $163,756.98 in our account. I shared the budget versus spend. That's all categorized. I have several checks today that I'm writing. And then I also have category of spend by month, but it just has the interest on it. This is the last. Questions about any of that?
Make a motion.
Oh, go
Sorry,
ahead.
I was gonna say, make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Support. Oh. You
A
support.
second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I then have an item that I think that we have to, we should probably vote on is that, the movies in the park is 210 over our budget.
Oh,
So
okay.
we should probably,
Didn't we do that? last week?
oh, did you?
I think we did that last.
Oh,
week.
okay, all right, then I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I think it's in the minute.
Yeah, we
All right.
needed to
Yeah.
accept it.
Okay, perfect. No, what-
Yep. Right there, number 4.
number 4? Thank you. I didn't get to the reading of these minutes.
Number 4, I know.
Yeah, 3210.
Perfect, yep, that's the exact amount.
Okay, so you're set.
I'm all set, thank you.
Communication calendar.
That's what you've been doing for a couple of months now with Main Street. So for the month of June, I have flyers printed out again. So someone new can walk around downtown and post them, and then also trying to get somebody from the DDA to attend the next LBCA meeting. Which I think I have the date listed on. I don't have it in front of me. I think it was like the first Wednesday in June at like 7:45. Is that right?
It's June 5th. Yeah,
June 5th.
it should be June 5th.
I will be in attendance, so worst case scenario, if no one is available that morning, I will be there, but obviously all are welcome and hopefully at least one will be able to come.
June 10th, you said?
June 5th,
Yeah. June 5th.
Yep.
In the morning,
7:45.
I'm not available.
I'm normally reading, so
Where do they?
sorry.
Where do you have it?
At Pine Hill Golf Course.
The golf course.
Yep.
The hour long.
Look. You may have problems that are. It no, it's not.
Okay,
And then I also have the flyers, if someone wants to volunteer to hang up the flyers downtown. I've already posted some at the park, if people wanna drop them off in businesses.
You wanna give me one for Budnick for sure in Kings Market? So I'll do Budnick's in case.
okay.
Okay.
Rosemary, do you want one
I can put one.
in your window?
And I'll take one for Dawn, I know that she likes to post.
Yeah, we probably can pull one.
We could take one of those and put it over and ask Tammy.
That's what we should do with these, you guys, is like split them up this way. Sometimes I don't think of the same, like
Greg, do you want to take one?
Tammy
Okay.
would not.
Yeah,
do
we'll
the-
take it.
Actually, I can take Dawn's.
Okay.
Because I'm right next to her.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
can pop over and
Perfect.
she's almost always. there when I'm walking
Then
by.
maybe,
If you want, I'll you just send it to me and I'll put it in.
Okay, I'll send you an email on the.
Yeah, I'll put it in ours.
Okay, is that all of them?
Yep.
Yeah.
But if we want to get more, the salon, I can probably get one in the hardware.
Okay, I can print more off.
I don't even know if I've asked Jim, just.
Anything else, Olivia?
No.
No, you're good. Pocket, is that your,
Yep, I
okay,
got it from two different companies. One is considerably more money in overall. And I asked both of them, they gave discounts for multiple. Buying
Pieces.
multiple pieces, the one that's more expensive, of course, gave us a discount on if we ordered everything they had. Which was a nice substantial discount, like $7,000, but like, yeah, we're not getting everything.
How much is
So,
everything?
it was like 57,000, I think, so. Yeah, so, but they both broke down per piece.
and they're both equal pieces,
They're the
Same
same thing,
thing?
yeah, pretty
So-
much,
so yeah,
yeah.
okay, so just, I went down there and looked, just to look. I see that you have filled a couple of spots with some black dirt or black soil there, because they're low spots or whatever, probably settling from the house that was taken out of the joint. And I just stood there and looked, and I know that they put like during, probably this weekend, they'll have stuff there, they put their little tents and all that stuff out there and sell stuff. I was wondering if we were to do something like this, if that needed to be literally like sprayed and killed, shaved, like shaved off, leveled, with a, like a real nice level job, and then seeded and built? Or do you just go over what's there? And try to, you know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna put concrete pads in where these pieces are anyway. What would it take to like kill it? So you just spray it, Roundup it, completely kill it, pour those pads, get your levels, of the size of, and then flatten it off perfectly or whatever and seed it and let it go over the winter. And then when he comes back, you go to mow it, you won't have all that up and down and hitting the side of the concrete once the pads are there, just because it's one level. It was just a thought.
So you bring up another point too about the fence and stuff. Would these like go over to one side, so it's really the area for the fence, or would it just kind of go sporadically, or?
I mean, for what it's used, I mean, there's always another place that they could set up,
Sure.
I'm like, I just hate to. Put them all together, or do something like that for one.
Well, yeah, I mean, they can set tents up around it
Here.
too. I'm just,
Yeah.
I didn't know that was that came up.
I mean, I think that, we can come up with another solution for them for that weekend or
guess it-
whatever, but
It's probably like, they could still set up in there and it wouldn't, yeah, I mean, wouldn't be that big a deal. They
Right.
just wouldn't
Right.
set up right over the top of that and people would still use them.
I
yeah,
think it'd be very complimentary.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it would be.
yeah, I mean,
Wouldn't be pushing anybody out and it wouldn't just let people bring them in there.
Bring them in, yep.
I mean. I thought about that too with the carnival, but it's like, that's the only time that area is used for all year. Like, nobody does anything right there.
So how much was the lower bid for all of them?
So can you, kind of adding on to that, I see the one bid from outdoor workout supply, is that one of them? Is there a second bid?
There are two bids. For a couple. I don't know, if the one gave me a total, they just gave what each thing was separately.
Well, but like this one has two ping pong tables on it. And two chess tables.
There's different kinds
Okay,
of ping pong tables, so depending on what kind you want, the price changes. So like the more expensive one was $54,381 for everything they have available. And then the other one they just gave, it wasn't a total. It was like, each one was separately.
Yeah, but, okay, let's go back to the ping pong table. I hear they're different, but would we want one of each?
No.
I mean,
No, I think it should pick one.
I
I
guess,
get it. So both tables are included in that 54,000. At least that's what it looks
No.
like.
No, they would be one, I think. At least unless it says that on, I don't know
Well,
that.
I guess
one
I
of
did.
each,
I mean, if they're in the-
If we add all of it up, it looks like by their quote that both are included.
Right.
So
It looks like,
we'd
but
have to take away one chess table. and
whether
one-
it is. or not,
There's cornhole, shuffleboard, ping pong, foosball, Chinese checkers, backgammon. Oh, yep, yeah,
so
yeah,
does,
cause there's different.
does this need to be laid out by some professional that,
I don't think so, because,
Do they give
they
you-
deliver, I mean, they
but do they
ship
put,
and deliver.
oh, okay, but like spacing to space. Like this game where you're,
Yeah, you would have to get the
Throw stuff.
rules.
yeah,
They
and then
probably
where
put
would
that
you
with-
put that versus, you know, you have these people sitting. They're way up.
Well, yeah, that, I mean, I don't know, I mean, that's whether you guys wanna do all of them, or you just wanna do.
Well, that's what I was
Some of
thinking,
them are-
okay, so maybe we need to get like a thought of a price in your head. And then I really think that it needs to be leveled, clean,
I do.
shaved.
There's a few games that you definitely need them to be level, like the cornhole, you need that to be level, you need that to be. You know, you can't have one highlight, you know, I mean, you don't want.
But the
that
whole
to
lot
be-
just needs to be nice.
You're saying walking through it, somebody could trip and hurt it.
Let's make the lot nice, like
Yeah.
flatten it out really nice. I don't know that it needs to be. You know, perfect slope for one direction, whatever,
Right,
but get it nice and flat by, like I was saying, kill it. Get rid of all the grass that's there, kill it. Shave it, meaning clean it off till it's perfectly flat, basically. It has drain in the direction that you want it. And then lay out your gains for them. And then come in and,
You can also purchase the concrete stuff that goes underneath them also.
oh, really?
Mhm.
So there's a
Yeah.
lot of base out there,
Yeah.
right? Outpost score base, regen, things like that.
yeah, but again, Mark's saying something different. Mark's more talking about smoothing it out for walking in between the games,
Correct.
not for making it
Correct.
for the games.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if, let's just say that, I mean, I have no idea what it would cost, but in today's theory, if I'm thinking 3,000 or 4,000, it's probably. But I mean, it's literally it's just seeding it. I mean, you get to shave it, so you got a bobcat in there for a day. So if you spent 3 or 4 grand there, let's say 5 grand, let's say it took 5 grand to get it prepped. So how much would you want to spend on games? And it's not like they couldn't be added
Right, you do a couple of them.
anyway. So what's the ceiling that we may want to spend? Are you thinking? If we had 5 grand towards the cleaning it up, killing it and getting it prepped and ready.
Well, it's like the connect venue, it's 3350 plus 310 per base. Would you do the 4 round bases under
Yep.
all of it, so mowing, they could just go around the circle and the wing wag?
I think you should form and they're there. That's just my opinion.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like, you're gonna spend the money for a base, but you not buy their bases, put our own round base in, and then.
For the slab.
Dave mows, there's no wing
Right.
wag and. just
And then we're
round.
gonna bring
Yeah.
that grade right up to
We
it, and
talked
when he
about
goes
that
in
too,
there,
trying to
he
make it
just,
easy for them.
he mows it and gets out of there instead of having to.
Yeah. It'd be the cemetery.
Right, a circle,
Exactly.
circle would be best, right, Dave, rather than a square, or doesn't matter? Like,
The guy's out on the mower.
That's already here, right?
none of the bases are included, or none of the
No.
cement pads are included.
Right, that's what I'm saying, instead of spending $310 for that, put that $310 towards our own ground base, that. When you're mowing, you're just going around circling gone.
Yeah.
There's no weed whacking, it looks nice, it's safe thing.
So are you thinking to put like a circle and put them all?
No.
Like.
Separate.
Whatever the width of that is, if that's 5 foot, you do like
Yeah.
a 6 foot circle.
Got it.
Mount that in the middle. Then you can still stand on each side and then mowing is like.
How much
Well,
are we
I
thinking?
figured it'd be way cheaper for us to do the phases than to order, you know,
Right.
ordering a piece of concrete.
Even if it was a little more, you get what you want, right?
Yeah.
Spend $310 on a small square base, you gotta try to mow around.
Yeah, I've talked about that, you know, like how we're gonna try and make it easier for these guys, but
Sure.
we didn't want it to be, you know, entire weed whacking. That's a little bit there.
But we do like,
Any
buy like 3 of these things and see how it goes, and then if it's like. Big hit, buy more later, or buy them all right now.
How ballpark on pouring a, what, let's just say a 5x5 slab for you to do. Ballpark.
5x5 slab is, 8 a foot. 5x5 is 25, so $8 a foot's, you know,
$200.
is.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out, was my math right? 25 times 8. I'm just trying to figure out how much we would have to figure for slabs.
Each one. I was
And I
thinking,
just
okay, another $3,000.
Yeah.
So $3,000 for slabs,
Yep.
$5,000 to get it,
Yep.
we're at $8,000.
Yep.
How many of them do you wanna buy from $8,000 to $20,000?
So,
So you got $12,000 there to spend?
so one thing I've noticed is if we take one of the ping pong tables out and we take the shuffleboard, I don't know how there's any big shuffleboard players, but I mean, that one's $16,000. We're taking off $24,000 right off the top of that.
So you keep everything else, ping pong.
Keep everything, keep ping pong, keep everything else, right? Oh, well, I would also probably look at the chess tables, and I don't know if we need 2 different chess tables, but I don't know, and I don't know. what
Put one
difference
in there,
between-
and then if it gets used a
Yeah.
lot,
Then we can do another.
we put another
Well,
one.
and one of them, the other one company has the table and then they have the,
Oh, is one of them a table and then one of them's a light, not.
like, so they have like the table and then you have 2 different things you
Inserts?
can put into insert, and it's like backgammon,
Okay.
chess.
Is that the one with the single?
Oh, we saw
one,
that
or the
last
one
time.
with- or they're both the same, or the one that's like
The tables, you just choose what kind of table you want. I'm not sure which one's that one's from.
I don't know, I'm like,
One company I know has it in-
I'm not hearing any budget, I'm like.
Yeah, that's what-
"What's the budget?" I went back
That's
and
kind
looked at the
of
budget.
what I'm trying to.
We haven't budgeted any money.
Right, I don't.
That's kind of what I'm
And the
trying to start a
budget's-
conversation.
And the
with.
budget's in front of
We're
us,
very
so-
good somersault. thing.
I missed something, I
Better
don't know.
details,
the
man.
budget.
The answer is we don't.
We have money, but.
Yes.
Do you guys want to take this paperwork home? Maybe, okay, this is what we'll do. It's not, we don't need a rush. So take these home and circle and then grade, so 1 through 5, of which one you like the best. We bring them back. 1's the best, 5's the worst. On each one, okay? Which one you think? And then whatever we get for numbers for each one, at least that will weed out the ones we're going to do. So that's the ones we're going to do. I think I like the idea of not spending that much money on the 2 large ones. So let's do the smaller items, the smaller games. So the disconnect game, the dots and sons. There's 3 different kinds of those, right? And then the ladder toss.
Okay, so how did the, what were the
Foosball,
couple first ones you said, the tots and Scott's and
I can also
Tots?
send you guys the websites to both these two. I can-
'Cause they don't-
Dots and Sons.
Okay, well, so how's that matching up on this price list?
It's a different price list in.
It's-
Oh,
that's
okay.
a bit more.
It's a different price list in there.
Got
Yep.
it, got
I
it.
think it's a different.
And then your
Maybe.
Bago games. Doesn't have a name for that one. Dots and Sons also, I guess.
Oh, I don't see this.
Oh,
Page 24, I think you might know.
Okay. Thank you.
that will at least weasel it down to what we think we want the most. I'll get a hold of Boyd. See what he would charge me to skim. If you kill it, can you kill it?
Oh, I can kill it.
Well, we need it to grow back someday, so we don't.
Well, when I spray it, I'm gonna have a sign that says this was done for Mark.
What in the?
He's gonna write it in words like that,
Good man.
That's fine, because I'm gonna be gone.
Mark who?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we can spray it.
So this fall, we spray it and flatten it and then lay it out, because we'll need to lay it out first anyway, where they would go on the plot. So I'll take and get a shot of the size and then lay them out. What would work. And then we'll get the sidewalk guy to give me a price on putting the pads in. Cause we'll do that before you seed it or finish it. And then we'll seed it and finish it this fall with just the pads and we'll order those in the spring.
So there's no pictures.
Yeah.
Good, me. I was like.
And then they can come and insert them right on the new pads and they're done and out of there,
Like,
brand new, ready to go.
Do we wanna do a ballpark of like
So
20,
And those are
25,000?
all-
That was what was in my head, but it
Yeah.
doesn't mean,
So that.
Yeah, I'm just so we have a sum as we're looking.
To get started right now, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, and I'm just talking for equipment. I mean, you added 8,000 for other stuff, so if it was 25, it'd be 33,000 for the whole thing. And I'm not saying that's what we have to end up with. I'm just saying as we're going through here and thinking about which ones we want. Right, it gives us kind of a point of place.
So I do have a question, since you've looked at all of these things, are there some that you recommend that
I think
stand out
so.
more to you?
Your bag, Cornwall,
Uh-huh.
definitely, that's
Popular.
popular right now.
Yep.
And with these two, which I really liked, was there are things that you can buy so that they cannot be used for bike rafts.
I see that.
Oh,
And it's like, oh yeah, we definitely have to get that.
Deterrence.
Yeah, so, but, and they weren't that much, so, that one in the, disconnect, I think that would be,
Yeah,
I
awesome.
love that one. You get your logo on that too, right? You get like the city language.
yeah, the,
Use pen on the cornhole.
the cornhole you can too, yeah. I think the table, because we don't, for sitting, even if you're not playing a game,
Exactly.
I think we need,
I love that.
we need that.
Which one?
I-
One with the individual?
I really think people would love the foosball. I mean, I know that's more of a pricier one, but I think a lot of people like to play foosball.
well, both women and
ping-pong
men
is,
can play it,
I don't know.
and kids and adults.
Yeah, and the ping pong, that's a big expensive one, and I mean, that one could be like later.
Yeah. We have tennis.
Yeah, I,
Pickleball and.
yeah, and it's, that's. like
That's
expensive.
gonna be the complaint, that it's not a pickleball court.
No,
Right.
I was just gonna throw this. and just-
But I'm gonna be gone, so it.
Okay, thank
So-
you.
So go through them maybe and just, 1 to 5. We're talking the smaller ones, I think. Do you guys agree?
Yeah,
So not the ping pong table and not with the shuffleboard.
yeah. Not
We'll hold off on
60,000 for
that.
one thing. Yeah.
And then like, the color too.
Yeah, you gotta.
Ours doesn't have color. Ours are black and white.
Got it.
So I think we'll have to get to color later.
How do they do that?
Well, if you sent this out in a packet, would they have color?
Yeah.
Okay, so it should be on the internet anyway.
Yeah, and I'll send you guys the links to this company. Just so you get an idea of what all they have and what you can do, because there was a lot of pictures.
And I think maybe I'll get a topo of that, size of that, and that might also tell us how much maybe we could fit in there too.
Right, we don't
You
want
don't
to
want-
put 10 things in there, be able to walk around.
And they're like, what the?
Right.
Well, yeah, like the
We're playing
cornholes,
chess.
they take up a lot of room.
Yeah, right, how much
Yeah.
space are you
Ladder
gonna take, how much
ball
you wanna
takes up,
put in there, so if you put 2 sets of those and you need X number of space.
Yeah,
You know, hey, you don't want them literally touching each other,
Right.
there gotta be a space
Right.
between them.
You don't want the chest under it.
Over
That'd be a
to-
challenge. Put the chessboard right in the middle, so it's people throwing.
So I'll get that kind of laid out in a size and maybe lay them out. And then a price of what it's gonna take to bring it back to grass. It's all flatten it and bring it back to grass. And once we figure out the size of those pads, I can figure it out.
It's just one foot.
And then we'll come back. You guys. We're supposed to make the budget too. Do you want to think about how much you want to spend too then?
I think
And
we
come
should,
back with a-
since we're doing, but, I mean,
I'm talking about when we come back.
But we're gonna need a placeholder
we're gonna
today.
need a placeholder, I think, for.
Well, let's work
approximate budget.
through it and then come back to it after we have some numbers. Like, what if there's something here we're forgetting that we talked about or something? And then if there isn't, we can just do what we want.
And if we end up deciding we want chess table, the 3 or 4 things, and that's all we decide we want, that's gonna help set the budget.
Yeah, but right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And you have the prices there too, so you'll know.
Yeah.
Yep.
What you kind of have to work with and what you're spending.
Mhm.
And
as
it's
soon as
all
I know
put in your
what
head.
you want, I can find out what the shipping is again. What they told.
And if we needed to, I guess one thought would be to, if we need to hold the price somehow, like the next month we could vote and then you could say, okay, we're gonna do this, but
Can we get a, yeah,
can we buy them? And we don't want them until spring.
Right.
We're gonna lock it in and we'll pay you, but we want them, delivered next spring.
yeah, the company that's, cheaper, they're kind of a mom and pop shop, so. I think they would work with us.
I'm just, things are weird and as the day goes by, the price seems to double on everything. Just because.
I was actually kind of surprised how cheap. I was expecting it to be like crazy.
Mhm.
money. I mean, they're not cheap, but I'm saying, I was like thinking they're gonna be like,
Yeah, way
like-
up, yeah.
10 grand a piece for everything.
Yeah, if we can do that whole area for 30 grand, we spent $25,000 on a couple speakers. And that'd be pretty nice.
Grand Rapids just spent 186 million on their amphitheater.
Okay, well,
Oh.
I think it's a little bit bigger than
Ours,
that.
there's Grand Rapids and then there's Laingsburg. I mean, that's some, so anyway, look through it, kind of, yeah, get what you think might be what you'd like the best, and then what would be your least. And we'll come back and try to figure it out for price. And I'll try to get something together too, at least approximately, for the size, a layout of it, and what that might cost us. Because it might be 3 grand instead of like 6 pack. I doubt it. Our budget.
So Olivia helped me with the budget. In fact, we'll just say Olivia did the budget for me. Thank you.
She'll take the credit, I guess, sure.
Okay, so. What she set up for us is that we have the actual spend of 21, 22, 22, 23, and then our budget for 23, 24. And then fiscal year one is like where we're starting for the next budget. So this is just so we have some historic information when we're deciding on column fiscal year number one.
Do you have numbers in your historical?
They are, but
Okay.
there wasn't any on that first page.
That's where I was thrown.
Yeah, first page doesn't.
Oh, okay,
Fiscal year one is the one we're working on right now.
right, okay.
23 or 24,
no.
25,
Fiscal year is gonna be next year.
right, for 24, 25, right? Starting at-
Correct,
Mhm.
24, 25. We're in 23, 24.
That's what we're working on right now.
Yeah, yep, that's
That's
what
why-
we're in right now. And that is our approved budget is in there. And then, well, we'll get through some of this, but then I want to talk about something where we have some additional approved funds for this year that we probably need to talk about like, for next year. So, so these memberships on page one, those were things that we approved through the year, this year. And it's recommended that we continue with those memberships. And that's Main Street America and Michigan Downtown Association. So on page one, those are the only two for the total of $275. So I suggest that we continue those. And then if we look at the second page of this, which is, looks like page 12. So starting at the top, our landscaping. So you can see in the last two fiscal years, we had kind of a higher payment, a lower payment. It's because the season runs not with our budget flow. But essentially, in this fiscal year, we're anticipating $9,000. And so the recommended to go forward would be the same $9,000. If we want to do anything extra, like flowers again or something like that, I think we would just vote on it if it exceeded that amount. Banners and signs, we had $500 in our budget this year. And so it's recommended that we keep that in the budget next year. So far, this year, we have not spent the $500. Do you anticipate?
Which we talked about doing, right, if there was like trying to replace a couple every year. but-
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
so we don't get in that spot.
Yep. So, I think that we just go ahead and have the $500 next year. The next thing is the holiday lights. And, so I do want to amend this because our current spend was $1,650, so I think we need $1,650 in the next fiscal year. And we probably, did I see a light? Contract vision, does that what's in here? Voids. No, it's voids, okay. Oh, I wonder if it was lights, because sometimes the lights contract comes right around now too.
That might be in there too.
Okay,
The holiday or the hometown.
hometown, yeah,
I think that's in there too.
okay, I was thinking I saw. I'm looking at the exact amount. So it's 1675 for next fiscal year, so that's what I recommend we put in there, 1675. For next fiscal year, because that's what our contract is that we would be signing.
Yeah.
The lights, yep, 1675. Outdoor seating and flower pots, 2,000. We raised that to 2,000 this fiscal year. And it looked like the cost of flower pots went up a little bit. And they're ordering umbrellas, and I think the total was somewhere around $1,500 so far. And we're just going into summer, so. Seems like the 2,000 would be what we would want going forward again, in case there's a new umbrellas or anything we have to order.
Right.
Okay. All right, so, face forward, we had 15,000 in the current budget, which we have not spent that yet. And so I think that the 15,000 moving forward makes sense unless you all want to talk about, like, do we want a higher amount than 15 or lesser, or what? Or use that funds to go towards the park, you know, I don't, whatever you all want.
Pretty good. And it's been pretty well received, well used, all those good
I
things.
mean, we always carry the flexibility going up like that.
Yeah.
So Match on Main being in here, help me with that and why it shows on this.
If you're hoping or you know that your DDA applies for a grant annually, even if you don't get it, to try to put it in there just so it can reflect the expenses and revenues just in case. So that's why it's in there. It's not a guarantee, like, obviously a guaranteed 25K.
Yeah,
It can
but-
just
But
be
it's the DDA, I don't think the
Expense.
DDA is applying, am I? are
Yeah,
you
yeah,
gonna
that's
say
that
something?
same thing, go
The
ahead.
City applies, not the DDA. And the only reason,
A user.
No.
No, the
Wow.
match,
no,
Yeah, yeah,
the
okay.
DDA is the applicant for Match on Me Tech.
Right,
oh, is it?
Yes,
Was it
Right.
before?
yes.
Yes.
but based
Oh, okay.
on a business wanting to do it.
Correct. Yep.
But that 25,000 isn't coming from the DDA, is it?
No,
No,
no.
Right, so
But
why is it,
but
why are we
that is
budgeting
done
to have
through the
25,000?
That's a
The
There's
grant
a
is
spend.
done
part-
through the DDA. You guys
Different.
are the
And
applicants.
then in
for
the revenue, like if there's a revenue sheet that looks just like the expense, there's a 25K, so it cancels out to zero if you were to get
Okay.
it or not
Got
get it.
Okay.
But I mean, it can be removed as a line item if it's more confusing than helpful. They just said, if you're trying to get grants and you know that the DDA is the applicant, to include them as the best case scenario. But if it's not helpful to folks, I can always just give you.
Yeah, but I look at a budget and I say, okay, we're gonna be spending that. I mean, that's just gets confusing. And, yeah. I get what they're saying is, yeah,
so I do wonder if we have something that is, I'm totally making this up, like a pass-through grant. Because what I don't recommend is that the DDA ever again loan money.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we want a section that is like something along the line of a pass-through grant where we will apply on the behalf of, and
Okay,
then they have to have the
Right.
funds to do it.
right,
Instead of it being a revenue to us and a spend to us, because we're not gonna spend it.
right.
I think we've all learned that
Is-
we don't loan that.
isn't that essentially what Match on Main is exactly what you just said? It's
Yes.
pass-
It is,
It's a
it is
pass-
kind of a
Yes,
pass.
yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah.
if we take it out of our income and out of our expense, but note it here, because I
Yeah,
think it's
okay.
worth noting.
You could put it on there as a zero, right? Just put the word verbiage on there, so they're aware of it, parentheses, not inclusive of the budget numbers, though.
Yeah, I think that, when you're using Excel, you're gonna sum a total of all the,
Well,
Things.
offset it, I mean,
yeah.
what I'm saying is just next to the verbiage rather than in the monetary column.
Wonder
I
why
think-
they said to put it on there. I'm wondering what the logic is to having. I mean, is there a business reason? Is it,
And I
Hey,
guess
it
they
looks
just said
good.
grants, and so when I
Yeah.
heard Mitch on Main, I just put it in both, so it cancels each other out. But like the grants that's lower, that's like a goal for a couple years to get like a $10,000 grant for whatever you guys may be pursuing. That would be actual income for you all.
Yeah,
I have an idea, what, if you wanted to have it on there, put it on there and then put a negative note below it, that's your amount. Grant, find there, it says grant minus $25.
I
But
think
it's a
we can let
pass-through, right?
Olivia, I think we could let her, I mean, I don't think we have the solution for her on putting it in here so that it's not actually in the plus and minus number. She created this whole thing for us. I have confidence. that she can-
But yes, I'll take it out so it doesn't look like you guys are paying.
Right, and some places may put the money up and then take the money back in, you know, when the grant's fulfilled, but I don't think we're prepared to do that. Okay, so the next thing on, is audit. And let me just look. Yep, so we have an audit of 1,000 this year. We haven't spent that money, so I'm assuming it's going to be close to that. So that makes sense to move that forward. Advertising at 2,000 is the same as current. And we're under budget on that. Maybe by, I don't know, close to $600. I think we're under budget on that right now. Movies in the park. All right, so we just voted to increase that. It seems that the movie cost is going up. Do we want to consider just adding the additional? I'm guessing that we're not working to get sponsors for that we're gonna continue to fund the whole thing. If we are, we probably need to increase that.
And that's when I would put a $5,000, 5%. Sorry, municipal, each year increase, just a flat on the budget, every year, plan on it going up 5%.
But this year was almost double that, wasn't it?
Yeah, but, yes,
So we need to bump the number enough and add 5%. So we need to go like $3,300 and then every year after that, almost consider 5%.
So shall we put 3,300 for movies in the park for next fiscal year?
If you bump to what we just paid and add 5%, it'd be like 3,450, right?
it wouldn't, well, when 23, 24 be the 3,300 and then 425, 3,500.
50%. So right now, our 23, 24 is closer to 3.
It's
Uh,
3,210.
No, even more than that.
3,032.10.
So then next year, or this next coming year, you would budget 3,450 if you want to accommodate another 5%.
Are you going to do that with, does anybody else put into to any of these? Does the, Elvis,
We'll pay the whole bill.
we pay movies in the park now, we pay music in the park, and we pay summer fest, and we pay winter.
Oh, no, the you
Yes.
not, no, the DDA does not pay, other than for movies, does not pay for everything for those.
Okay,
No, but we
Yes.
contribute to all of that.
Contributes,
Okay.
that's,
Yeah.
right, you're saying, does the DDA pay for everything?
correct.
that is
No,
not-
they do not.
That is
No,
not,
just
Okay, all right. There's other funds that are raised that are going into this, not just ours.
yeah, the
Right.
music in the park
Except
budget has
for-
$10,000.
Except for movies in the park. Movies in the park, we're
Yes.
paying the whole amount.
So you
Okay,
pay the whole
yeah.
amount.
Yeah, and then the others were paying a
Donation.
portion,
Portion.
donation or different things. Yeah.
Your big PDA logo comes up for movie star.
No, I think it's a little sign about.
That's
that
great.
it says sponsored
Yeah.
by ADA.
Yeah. Sponsored by Walt Disney. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, I think that we. Where music in the park, where the music in the park increase.
The next 3 increase, and I did that in, when I first showed you all. In hopes, cause like the Main Street is also trying to encourage the DDA to become more of a working board and participate in events rather than always just sponsoring or providing funding. So the $500 increase each was allowing some money for the DDA to post something or contribute something else to the event independently.
Oh, so like if we decided to sell ice cream cones.
Yeah, so like you would still give $1,000 to the music in the park and use the 500 right to
To
buy a
do
food
something.
truck to come to the event or post
A bounce
So-
house.
T-shirts or a
Yeah.
bounce house or something like that.
Got it.
The
So,
one thing,
Oh,
just,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, one thing to keep in mind is, and Ed, help keep me honest here, right? Music in the park is more of an LBCA. Right, they manage
We've
it,
got-
they put it
We've been doing
together,
it for many years.
they go, right? Winterfest is an LBCA.
Mhm.
So DDA is really just sponsoring or helping out, right?
But they did do Summerfest, you guys. did-
Summerfest is a DDA, yes,
That you guys did most of that.
yes.
Except for what we did the poster, we said that we did the poster, obviously that.
But the point, Olivia, with the Main Street thing is that we're supporting something else, right? In addition to
Mhm.
it strictly being our sponsorship.
Right.
Like she
yeah,
said,
so I,
you're supposed to try to get involved in what it is that you're sponsoring.
Like the winter fest, I know has a huge fair or something, so the DD might buy a vendor spot and sell Laingsburg t-shirts or something with the extra $500. So
mhm.
the point, yeah, is not to step in on anyone's toes who's hosting the event, but contribute something else.
so I like the idea, but I think it needs to be a separate
I
line
agree.
item. That
Okay.
way, it doesn't look like we've upped our budget for sponsorship.
Okay.
So I'd like to see it as a separate line item, and we could choose to use it or not use it, but it doesn't look like
Okay,
we increased our sponsorship.
No, and it will help force us to maybe do that exactly.
Right,
I mean,
because we've
it's-
already allocated the money.
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
And so maybe we just change the language a little bit to be sponsorship where it's sponsorship,
Mhm.
and then
Oh,
our funds. Some language around that,
right, okay,
to
yeah.
say it's ours, okay. That's all of it.
And then I have two more things that sidewalk maintenance, I forgot to add something. You guys have been budgeting 3,000 the previous 2 years, but I forgot to put it in for 2023, 2024, and then this year
Oh.
that future year that we're going over, so I think that probably should be added.
I agree.
I didn't put it.
We did 14,000, right?
This year we did 14,000, although we haven't spent that over several several years we haven't used the money.
Do we
And-
carry for, do we have like?
We
capital
don't carry
improvement? Okay.
forward, but
We keep
I
it
mean,
there.
If you don't use it, it's getting, yeah.
Right, so I feel like we probably spent like what we would have carried forward in that 14,000, so maybe we start over again. with
We're
What
gonna
we
buy
had,
lawn toys with this.
sidewalk maintenance was 3,000, so maybe we
Yeah.
put the 3,000 in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
because we're
think
gonna
some of
spend
that,
that, all that down.
we
Yeah,
should budget
yeah.
Fictitious
3,000 a
balance.
year, even though we have a year that we went 14,000.
Well, if he
Right.
walks in here and says, this needs to get fixed
Right.
now,
Right.
you got the money there to do
Something,
3,000.
yeah, at least 3,000.
Like sewer, we're gonna have a big sewer increase because we haven't done anything with sewer charging for 20 freaking years.
Yeah.
And so let's keep some money in there and let it grow, right? So,
Yeah, and then the next one kind of goes with that. It's called uncommitted design project funds, and this would be new, I think, to the DDA budget in the way that, like, setting aside money, like the city does a capital improvement plan, so they're setting $10,000 every year, like, to fix the lagoon. So then once the year hits where you actually have to fix it, you already have that money allocated. So this is saying, yeah, so putting $900 in a designated bank for when, like, the pocket park would have been a perfect example. If you've been saving $3,000 over the last 5 years, knowing that you wanted to do that. So that's also a new category for the Main Street budgeting, the way it's structured.
I mean, maybe we want a budget item of fun stuff. Right? Just upgrades, right? That we don't know what it's gonna be, but if we put money into that, then at some point, we have money to do a chess set.
I like,
So this maybe might be where we would put, like, if we wanted to add games. Like
Mhm.
every year we add $1,500 in games.
I think the way she has
Or-
it written is exactly the way it should be,
Uh-huh,
in my opinion. It's uncommitted design project that you don't know.
mhm.
I've always said,
Yep.
walk around the town, drive around the town. If you see something, write it down or let's talk about it. And then you have to start thinking about if we want to get that accomplished. Are we gonna get cut back on something else, baseboard, whatever those other projects are? And start putting money to make it a bigger pot so that we can do that project.
I agree. That was kind of.
But the
that's
way
saying-
it's written,
that's
I
saying
think it's
better
perfect.
than what I said, but that's.
Yes.
saying Yes.
It's perfect because it's
Mhm.
not exactly designated, but it is, let's save some money.
And it
what
looks
it
like
is.
we don't start doing that till next year. Right?
Well,
That's what this,
With this
We
specific
can do it,
budget.
but this is probably based on those requirements. We went over what we have to do beginning. Which it doesn't matter, we can put something.
and I would question
got it.
whether 900 or 1,000 or 500 is, I would question whether we want to put more.
And it doesn't mean that you can't use the money in any way, shape or form.
Right.
It's not. But it's not taking it off your plate completely, but it's at least building a pot
It's like,
to work towards what we're trying to do with this little project right there.
it's like saving for a vacation, then all of a
Exactly.
sudden you need to buy a new car.
We wanna go, but we can't go until we save up some money.
okay,
Kids. Credit cards are already maxed.
so the other thing that I think we need to talk about in this is, the sign, the 300 Grand River sign. And that,
Whether we leave it or we.
so that hasn't been processed yet. We
That
didn't spend that
10,000
deposit,
something.
yeah, once it was on hold, then we held,
Right, so it's not gone anywhere,
right, so.
but do we need to put that in our budget?
I think that we do, in fact, I think possibly we void that check. And put this 20,000 in our budget for next year for that signage.
Do you? I think you put it right there in that uncommitted designated spot,
Maybe that's what we do,
because.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Cause that's, yeah,
we're not gonna have sorry,
You do that.
correct me if I'm wrong, we're not gonna have a sign every year, so why put it in the budget for every year? I get what you're
not
saying.
for every year,
I
but
get
we,
it, for
we
next
need to
year, yeah.
accommodate for
Right.
it. If we're
Right.
going to do that
Right.
next year,
Right.
it has to be in the
Has to be in the
budget.
budget, yeah,
Yeah,
somewhere.
but I think maybe we zero that out of this year's budget. We're not doing it in the next month. So we can zero that out. And then put it in that, I agree, in that same
And
spot.
it doesn't,
20,000.
It's,
20.
I'll give you the
What?
amount. It's
Okay.
What is that?
20,177.15 cents.
But isn't there a full budget just based on funds for that fiscal year, it's not necessarily carried over?
It does not carry over. That's why I'm saying we have to put it in the budget for next year, if we want it in the budget next year, because it does not carry over.
The only way you can carry over on a budget like this is with a capital improvement plan.
yeah, I would just, but I still don't want it designated exactly
no.
to that sign.
No,
I-
no,
that's-
I agree. We put it in that
Oh.
uncommitted promotional project fund, future projects.
So we're just gonna carry our surplus just over a balance sheet in next year, up to like part stuff.
Any of those, correct.
And I have like a section of like our carryover so that we know that we've encumbered some funds and we're still spending on last year's budget instead of this year's budget. I do put some line items down there. Because some of the stuff that we decide on bridges over. But it's not really an official carryover. It's just an FYI to us.
It's to
But-
keep you in track of where the money's at.
Right, exactly. And then, but if we don't spend the 20,000 on this, that's zeroed out. And we have to have it on the budget next year, or it can be voted to approve next year. I mean, we can just say, we're not doing it this fiscal year, and we just scratch it off the list. And next fiscal year, we vote on it.
Well, we'll vote on it anyway, because we're spending that kind of money, but it's already put in here as an item,
Right.
period. It doesn't matter what the item is, it can be 10 different items. But then we're going to pick one or two of them.
Fair enough.
But yes, we're going to bring the money. The money's not leaving.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not going in.
So this fiscal year though is what, the FY1 is what we're talking about, the game project.
correct. So we have to add that in
Also.
as well.
Correct,
If-
like
yes.
you just said. So you're
Right.
gonna add maybe another 30 in there, so
Another
we're at
30.
50-ish, something.
Yeah,
Is
Which
that
is
where
fine, it
we would
doesn't-
wanna put it?
I think
So
so.
here's what I kind of think, because so many people are leaving and new people coming on, is that anything that we decide and vote on before they go becomes a line item. You move it out of there and you just do an adjustment to a specific,
Pocket park.
yes,
Yeah.
under design projects. Then we all know that's been voted on, and
Yep.
we're moving that project along, and it is no longer part of uncommitted, because it's really not anymore.
That makes sense.
Then you have a line item. Because the reason I think that might be beneficial is when we go to do next year's budget, you know what the heck you did with your uncommitted.
Right.
It really shouldn't sit there. It really should just be like a budget adjustment, actually not even an adjustment, because they're, well, I guess they might be considered different GLs in the real world, but yeah, you vote to move it over.
Mhm.
Okay, so now we're gonna do this project. We just voted on it. We're gonna move
X
$30,000
amount out.
from uncommitted to Pocket Park.
Yep.
But that way people know what it is that,
Yep.
what that's earmarked for.
Works
Yep.
for me.
Okay, so that's an existing design project would be where we would put
Yeah, I think,
30,000.
because that's where we got.
For
have some of
Pocket
our-
Yeah, it's not uncommitted anymore.
Yeah, I love
Right.
that.
And
I
we
really
still
like
have the
that.
20 in the uncommitted.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah,
If
we
it
can
turns
do the
out
same
that it's
thing.
more than
Wow.
that, then it can be voted on.
sure, and move more,
Move more, yeah,
or move it back.
or whatever, yeah.
Did you understand that?
Yep.
Yep.
Got it.
Sorry.
No, it makes sense.
So are we gonna finalize and vote on it at the next meeting? Or we do that?
She has to prepare that, bring it back to us. We have to have it to them on or on their first meeting. But we're supposed to go over this now, build the budget today.
Like a creative
This is a
track.
He brings it
Yep.
back to us next month. It gets voted on. It
And then it
goes
goes to city.
to
council.
city
It's
council.
gonna go in their July meeting.
It has,
Probably.
no, it'd be their first meeting in July, because we have to have it to them by June.
Okay.
We have to do it in May and have it to them by June. Okay,
Thank you. Thank
what
you,
else?
Olivia.
Main Street goals and visions.
This is the carryover from last meeting. About choosing your 5 goals. This is for part of the applications, the board identifying what they want to prioritize with 5 goals and then a single vision statement. So I provided examples last month and I think they're in there again. But yeah, they're just examples. So if folks came up with the one that was on the sheet, it could easily be a goal. These were just brainstorm of what I thought that, the goals could be, or that would make sense for the needs to.
Are these compared to the last time that we did goals? I know.
Like the last meeting,
No,
The goals thing, when we went through that other deal and we rated it. we circled the number.
Help us start.
Yeah, I think we developed some goals. previously.
I know that when we went through the training, I know what you're talking about, Amanda, the scorecard that you all did. And so, yeah, I could look back on there and like see how they compare.
Are you afraid that it's gonna skew what we've already done possibly?
Right, well, which are we held accountable to?
Right.
Right, 'cause
I-
you
The
had
ones we
the
set-
Fire station, when we did that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep,
Oh,
he was
the
gonna get us
meeting at
that
the
stuff.
fire station? Yeah, now I know what you're talking about. That was for the community
specific
marketing
plan.
strategy. So yeah, that was for a specific plan, not tied to the DDA. That was for a specific citywide plan.
Okay.
okay, and then we,
Yes, it went over goals of what folks from city council voted for that planning commission. So that was just for that plan that the city is creating, rather than for the DDA board Main Street.
Aside from Main Street, that's their own deal, something
Yes,
else. that we're-
yeah.
next, I think that we set goals.
I can
At
look
least
back, this
over a
is
year
not,
ago. right?
Like an immediate thing. I've just been solely working on collecting information for the application. So when my fellowship is done, hopefully it sets the board up for the easiest transition. So this doesn't need to be something today. If you think that we had goals, I can look back at minutes and try to figure out what you're talking about, because I'm not sure.
So what it was is that we were required to submit a DDA plan.
Okay.
We hired a company to help us with that. And we had an entire plan packet. And this is well over a year ago.
Okay, yes, so like the DDA and like TIF plan. That
Yes.
is, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yep,
So I can look through there and see if goals are specifically laid out, because I think I know what you're talking
They
about.
were.
I think they are, and I think we're held accountable to those. I mean, we should be revisiting them, but I
Well,
don't
I
know
think
that I
it's a
wanna.
perfect opportunity to revisit them, but I wonder how many on that already are
Already.
here, and then that would take care of those, and we'd only have a couple maybe to add.
Exactly.
And then we can just vote
Okay.
on what we think those are and
So
tell
I
it.
can look back at that and compare them, and so, yeah, there's no confusion, because like I said, this isn't an immediate.
It would be good to know, just out of curiosity, how that aligned with that meeting out there, so just.
But you're talking about the fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's different than
It is
ours.
different, but it would be nice to just look at this side by side and see.
It's the same goals for the same
Thinking
buildings.
Yeah,
was similar in the goals of the
yeah,
community.
I see what you're saying.
I think we should get that, I think the due date for their contract was June 30th. So hopefully we'll be getting back the community marketing strategy soon,
Okay.
From them,
from place
From
to
them.
name, yeah.
correct,
Yeah,
Yep.
From that out
Yeah.
there.
yeah.
yep,
Yeah, we don't have that.
yeah, so between that, our
Ours,
plan and these goals, I think.
Yeah, I can look. and
Okay.
see what overlaps. Will do.
Olivia, when are you, is it August?
Yes, August 15th.
You're not hurry it up.
I know. Is when she's
She's
done.
done her.
What time is,
Just start.
what time is it up with us?
Don't you come on full time or something?
automatically, I think, it's just an automatic. Isn't that in the budget?
Yeah.
Is that in the budget?
Oh, maybe that's other, signed funds.
What's the executive director funds on that? That's you.
No, that's not me.
Who was
That's
that?
hopefully someone more experienced someday. That's like,
Well, you've got some time, because it's
True.
like
that's like
2-3 years
years
out.
out,
Yeah.
right, in hopes of you'll move on to the select level, which would then, yeah,
Yep.
allow you or require you guys to hire,
Hired.
an executive director.
Okay.
Do you have something you wanna talk about, or you're good, or?
Yes, but my time is up in July. Is this what we're talking about? And that the treasurer position is open.
You're.
My term
So
ends
that
in July.
means-
That's the last meeting, they voted you to stay for that. But you get for rest of that.
I'm signing up.
So we need a
More
president, a
More-
treasurer,
Vice
a
President.
vice president for this thing to stay alive. So somebody's
There's
got,
4 positions, right?
yeah,
Or- mhm.
And we're supposed,
Rosemary's not leaving.
we're supposed to be sweet talk.
Might be able to be convinced to stay if I'm not the treasurer.
If she's
But-
not, yeah,
Yeah.
she,
If we need time
Olivia's
to
leaving,
fill a
that's why
position.
she's not gonna be able to be the treasurer.
I helped her on one thing, I'll take all the credit.
So anyway, yeah, cause I'm gone, it looks like
Are you're saying?
he's
She's
gone,
not too.
she'll stay if she's
If
not
I
treasurer.
need to, you're right. If we need the
You're
third.
gonna need to.
I don't know when my term's up. I think I just signed up again.
Never. Said never, right underneath it.
I turned in my application.
There you go, okay, good, great.
Treasurer.
No. No.
Treasurer, vice chair, chair. And just people. Yeah, someone to sit on the board.
Did
What are the
anybody,
requirements to set up my board though?
But you're not signing.
So-
You have to,
it's kind of a mix.
I've been on
Yes.
for over 25 years.
so you either have to you either have to own property or have a vested interest, meaning if you were to lease property, it can be commercial, it can be residential.
Okay.
You can own the property and lease it out or be leasing it from
So you just
someone.
have to own real estate and like.
Within the
DDA.
DDA.
In the
district.
In the
DDA.
down.
But I think there are one or two positions that you don't have.
They're affiliate, some sort of affiliation. What is it? I can't remember.
There's two positions that don't need to be, and you do not have, you only have to be a resident of Laingsburg. You do not have to be in.
The city.
Correct.
Because that's how
The
Sharon.
district.
Position. That's how Sharon is on.
Yeah.
Sharon, yeah.
Yeah,
Correct, you do not have to be in our district. You have to be in the city limits. And then there's two positions outside the city
Yeah.
limits. Also.
Or Sharon's.
So you could live
so
elsewhere,
you're out, so we could have 2 out.
correct?
Which you have to be a Laingsburg resident or idiot.
But
I thought you always had to be.
How-
So did I, but I reread it, and that's how she
well, that's
got
how
on.
Sharon was on.
That's how Sharon got on.
She's Laingsburg, yeah.
We're Laingsburg Avenue, she's Lake Victoria, correct?
So
Not
how
in
many
the
people are there? 7?
Well, to have a board, you have to have 7.
7.
And you are included, meaning the mayor sitting on is
Right.
one of the 7.
Right.
So there's gonna be.
But 2 of them don't have to be residents or business owners of property.
But do they have to live within Laingsburg, the zip code?
I don't know that for sure. That's
Like
something
in
that.
the affiliation, is it
No.
close enough that he has a child that's going to school here?
No, I
So
think you have
then,
to have a vested interest, like if you own your building down there, but you lived in Williamson, I think you could still be in board. because you
but
have a vested-
Sharon lived in Laingsburg and owed nothing in the city.
She's one of the ones that are.
But what I'm
She's a
saying,
Laingsburg
for
resident.
instance.
That's what she's asking, is
he-
whether or not he could be
Is he a
possible.
Laingsburg resident?
He lives in Ovid, his kids go to school in Laingsburg.
Oh,
I don't think that
I
would
don't think
apply,
that
because
would
that's a
apply.
school choice, that's not a.
yes.
No, I'm not saying if
Right,
there is
it's just
no,
Curiosity.
Yeah, no.
it's a legit question.
It's a question we need to, you can still ask and we need to
Yeah.
investigate that because it's very possible you could still sit.
Or maybe I just need to go shopping.
Hell, we're going down.
There you go.
Buy one of those
Plenty of
buildings,
options.
yes.
We could add.
There's a lot of
extra
issues
property.
here. It's in Laingsburg. Release.
And we're not-
Dave, you didn't have nothing, did you? No. All right. Think about that park project, rattle around your head. I'll try to lay something out and then, we'll have at it again. Next month. 7/12, 7/13. We're out of here. What do you want me to sign